Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. Okay, Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. It was directed by Yamatusi Bano. I don't think I pronounced that right, and also produced by the legendary Tomoyuki Tanaka. Okay, this movie takes place in a time where a lot of different stuff was happening. People were rising up against pollution. There was a lot of LSD, a lot of crack, or a lot of acid going around because it's perfect evidence of this movie. This movie takes place in a little boy who dreams about Godzilla. He's kind of a lot like the kid from Godzilla's Revenge. Godzilla around this time is just really he's a lot like he's very marketable to young audiences. So he was this movie. You'll notice some similarities to Gamera. Actually, was really popular around this time because the lead of the movie is the boy, and the little boy discovers a strange sludge in Tokyo Bay. His father, a scientist who decided to test this strange phenomenon and finds out it's some sort of pollution. It's a monster made of pollution and becomes this massive kaiju known as Hedra, and he decides to attack Tokyo and pollute everything. And of course, Godzilla up to this time, he was the friend of humanity, but we did not know that Big G was a closet environmentalist because there's a lot of stuff on this movie that really points to that, and this is a really psychedelic. This movie is very psychedelic because you feel like you're on LSD or you're on something when you're watching this movie. When I watched this movie, I was just like, what the hell is this? Because there's a whole lot of strange things going on in this movie. Not quite right, if you ask me. But it really, I want to talk about the pacing of this. The movie is actually pretty good because Godzilla comes on a lot, but I want to talk about the psychedelic and the message on this movie. This movie is basically about environmental pollution. So around this time, there was a lot of pollution. People were in fear of pollution around this time. So it is perfect evidence of this movie. So the little boy has a connection with Godzilla, and the Smog monster, who starts out as a small tadpole, then he becomes this four-footed, almost reptile-looking blob, and then we see the next form. He flies around. It looks a lot like something at a Mexican restaurant, like a kind of like a tortilla, a flying tortilla. And he has a couple battles in the beginning with Godzilla, and Godzilla doesn't really know what to make of him. And then of course his final form, this massive, huge form, it looks a lot like something would have been on Ghostbusters or something. So there's a lot of strange stuff going on. There are animated cartoons on this movie describing how humans are polluting the air, and also there's a lot of strange, very. You feel like you're watching a PBS the Learning Channel at one point because the guy is telling the little boy how nuclear fusion happens when two atoms become one. It's really strange the movie, and then there's a lot of straight hippie paraphernalia going on here. There's of course the opening song, you know the. Look at me, so many of you in the hospital. All this lockdown traffic you and me. Good Lord, what is it gonna got to get it someday. So it's really laugh out loud stuff in the beginning because actually, if you watch the Japanese, if you guys ever seen the Japanese version, the DVD, it sounds nothing like that. So the dub version is where it's at. If you really want to enjoy this movie, you want to watch it right there. And there's a lot of there's actually a part where they're taking drugs, and it looks like LSD. It looks like PCP or something like that. And the guy kind of sees this girl with her head turns. watching people dance, and they turn into like fish. Their heads turn into fish. And around that time, the Smog monster attacks the nightclub where they're doing drugs. And given point being that this is supposed to be a children's movie, I don't think that Toho really understood that they were trying to market this for children, yet there's drugs being used are being used on this movie. You don't actually see them; you just see the effects happening. You know, the psychedelic effects of what happens to you when you do just a whole lot of drugs. So it really nails it. The cultural and the stuff that's going on is really interesting. It's very psychedelic. This movie shows Godzilla, the kid having a dream of Godzilla, and he's actually before Hedra actually starts to attack. The little boy predicts that Godzilla is gonna clean up the environment. So, but if you really like this movie, because at one point the girl's dancing around, and it looks like she's gonna start singing like that one song. These boots are made for walking, and that is what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Boom, 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 boom. So it's this movie is very interesting in that aspect, and of course the final battle between Hydra and Godzilla is pretty awesome. I liked it. I think Hydra looks just like a big pile of blankets, eyeballs, draped for eyeballs and stuff. It looks the design of Hydra is pretty slick. I mean, I know this is 1971. What do you expect with special effects? So Godzilla is very actually you see a lot of stuff, a lot of characteristics with Godzilla at the very end of the movie that it insinuates that he just kind of wants people to thank him for what he does, that he's saving people. So he kind of looks at the people and then they get scared of him and he walks off and the little boy says bye. So what I like about Toho kaiju movies that a lot of the monsters, a lot of the kaiju have human characteristics, and of course we obviously know it's suitmation, but it really gives the kaiju human characteristics that people can identify with. So all right, I'm going to give this movie a stop the press. That was a good movie because this movie is definitely one of not one of my more favorites, but it is a very interesting kaiju movie. It is a protest against pollution.
So come on, down with our environmental pollution. The go-go of 1 million.
And it is just a really fun movie to watch if you're high on LSD. I'm just playing, but those of us that don't do drugs, you might not. If you do drugs, don't watch this movie on drugs, okay? Because it might give you, it might give you the kind of acid trip that you probably won't come back from anytime soon. That being said, okay, what did you think of this video? Please like these videos. Please share and subscribe. Let people know about this blog. I'm in the middle of my Godzilla reviews. I am also going to be doing Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla vs. Megalon, and of course I'm going to be doing 12 Strong and the Meg coming up pretty soon. So please be watching. I thank everybody who subscribed recently. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope I made you laugh. I hope I've informed you. I hope I really have entertained you because, like I said, I work hard for this stuff, you know, and I really appreciate you guys for staying subscribed. And those of you that watch, all my viewers, thank you guys.